Hello.
Y'all.
So I'm answering Larry Broughton's secretary back. She just sent me an email. Anyway, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of
Like the way you drink?
that one there. I'm looking to make sure I was my side toys say Tim Gillette Show, and I'm like, wait a minute, I got the wrong toys.
Yeah, no, not that toy.
The banner. No, I got the right banner. Here we go. I got the right banners now. Okay. I was worried I was going to put the wrong banners up. I do have 3 podcasts, so just saying.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, you have to think about it because you have multiple podcasts, and if you were to pull up one of the other ones, so long as it's one of yours, it's okay.
Yeah. Well, I don't have any. You and I are the only joint podcast I do now.
Got it. I feel suspicious.
Got rid of those other joint podcasts. They just didn't work the way I wanted them to work. They wanted to talk about serious stuff. I wanted to talk about serious stuff.
Fun things for us, right?
That's why I was in this. So, anyway.
Oh, you are so blushing.
All right. So, tonight we have pizza.
Yes. And this is a very...
Can you hold you up? I'm still... I didn't cook it on the plate. I cook it on the rack, and then I put it on the plate afterwards. So I get my hand actually on the plate. But if you cook it...
No.
Did you cook yours on the plate in the rack? Yeah.
No, I just put it straight on there.
Yeah, I do straight on the rack, and then I take and slide it onto the plate off the rack.
Well, see, this is a pizza stone, so
yeah,
that's why I did it on.
Yeah, I you can put it on the pizza stone and cook it. I just don't like to do it that. I like to do it right on the rack, so it gets the regular heat, more heat, everything. And then we got some beers, some candy. I got M&M's candy. What kind of candy you got?
Well, y'all, what we wanted to do, but sometimes if you're not in the Midwest, it's hard to find what you want. So what we were going to want to, and it was something that was, hey, let's do this, was a Buckeye. Now, I don't know if y'all know what a Buckeye is besides the mascot for is it Ohio State that has the Buckeyes?
Ohio State, yeah.
If I get that wrong, I hope nobody gets mad at me. But a Buckeye candy, it's Ohio's official state candy. I did not know that states had an official candy, but apparently Ohio does. And due to the state's large population of Buckeyes, now what is a Buckeye? A Buckeye is a tree, and it is native to North America. In the late summer and early fall, the tree bears fruit that contains a large nut. The nut is the one that gives the tree its name because it has a dark brown with a light spot on it, and it resembles the shape and color of a deer's eye. So the Buckeye was named after the state tree of Ohio in 1953. Now, the locals, they produced a favorite snack, and travelers that go there too. But it is essentially peanut butter, chocolate covered peanut butter. But most of the time you could see the peanut butter at the top. So it's round. So it's peanut butter round, and then it's dipped in chocolate. And it was this candy was, according to the legend, Gail Tabor invented the Buckeye in the 1960s because she was dipping peanut butter balls in chocolate, and she noticed that the partially dipped balls resembled the Buckeye nut, which was the fruit of Ohio. So then she started making them and taking them to the Ohio State, Michigan football games, where they became very popular. Then in 1919, the Buckeye Candy Company opened in Brooklyn, Ohio, and they began making the popular candy. And then it started by 3 women, which were the wives of the owner and a salesman, and they sold their Buckeye to all the local grocery and pharmacy stores. Then the Dispatch, which was a magazine, the readers in the early 1967, they started to share and started to request recipes for the Buckeye candy, and it just became a thing. So they are peanut butter, powdered sugar, and butter, and are partially dipped in chocolate, which is usually a semi-sweet chocolate. Sometimes they will make it with white chocolate, and they're very popular in Ohio and the neighboring states. So now the Ohioans consume more than 6 million pounds of Buckeyes per year. And they're sold throughout the state and the surrounding areas. And they are, so the reason I got Reese's is because the Buckeye is most like Reese's peanut butter cups than a peanut butter ball, because the peanut butter center is surrounded by the thin chocolate shell, then covered in thick chocolate.
Yep.
So that's why I ended up with Reese's peanut butter cups, because out here in the Pacific Northwest, it is not as easy to get a Buckeye candy unless you're willing to spend $40, $30, $60 for just a few of the Buckeyes, or travel half an hour and hopes that they might have it. But you can get them at Williams-Sonoma for a small, I think it has like 3 of them. It's like $32. And if you get a big one, it's like $62. But I will find, I think that Rocky Mountain Chocolate Tears, they seem to have it. But again, it was a half-hour drive. No matter if I went north or south, it was still going to be one way, half hour to get there, then get it, and then back. And I'm like, if I had planned it, I would have ordered it and had it delivered, but I didn't. And then it was like, do I have the energy to do this? And I said, nope. So I went to Kroger and picked up Reese's, $1.25 for 2 Reese's. So that's where I'm having today. And so, and I have 2 beers. The first beer is originally the one I had pulled was from Lycum Brewing, that is in Portland, and I just the little hedgehog, which is really cute. This was one that I won because I came in first female last year, and I still have one left because I've been not wanting to open it. But it is a little bit taller, and I decided I was going to do a secondary drink. So I'm going to switch to the True Gold Refreshing Golden Ale that is from Breakside. That's this one.
Okay.
There it is. It is.
I opened up my first one, which is St. Arnold's.
Okay.
Oktoberfest.
All right.
And the second one, I'm going to go Texas with a 4.6 IPA.
Ah, nice. So the True Gold is it's approachable, it's drinkable. The Galaxy and Mosaic hops are well balanced with the light Maltonese. So it has this golden hue, which is absolutely beautiful. And this is the kind of beer that you want at the end of a hike after a day skiing, or while relaxing with friends after work. So this True Gold will bring back memories of falling in love with craft beer. It's 5.1% alcohol by volume, and usually it comes in a 6-pack. And this is one from Breakside that is also local. And it says, smooth and flavorful, perfect for coasting. So it is employee owned. So this is one of the things I like about Breakside, is that they are employee owned here in Portland. So I'm going to utilize my beautiful round glass goblet here.
I only had one, and I was going to freeze. I actually put my cup in the freezer for an hour before, but I should have put 2 in there. But
right,
my Oktoberfest first. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right.
And I do want a picture of that, so I'm going to put the Breakside over here and see if I can get a picture of it while I get.
Cheers picture. Cheers picture. Cool. Can we get cheers pictures? There we go.
There you go. So.
Mm-hmm.
It is very drinkable. It's this golden color. Yours is a little bit darker. Yours is more of an amber color. This is a golden color.
An Oktoberfest beer is going to be more of an amber type beer. Most people who make the Oktoberfest beers are going to be more of an amber.
Mm-hmm.
That is a very smooth flavored beer. I'm going to tell you right now. Oh my gosh.
Did you just pick it up, or have you had it in the past?
No. I picked it up. So we do the Kroger and do it quite frequently. The Kroger mix and match.
Basically, I've seen that.
You basically go through and pick 6 random beers. I do have one saved that I want to do next week or the week after, depending on when we do We depending on when we what the other stuff I want to do this month. We'll see. We'll talk about it later because I'm not going to give away the hint, but it's October, so you may have the hint. Yeah.
Right. No, got it. So the other thing that we have, and I don't know if I want to do dessert first because eat dessert first. Life is uncertain. So I'm going to do that because I prefer savory over sweet. So that way, when I have my savory, it'll get the sweetness out of my mouth. So hopefully we're not insulting you Ohioans or you Buckeyes, but here's to you. Oh, wait. Tells you how often I eat Reese's peanut butter cups.
Well,
there's paper there.
Yep. But where's the Reese's factory at?
I did not research that. Hershey's company.
Where's Hershey originated from?
Why isn't it telling me where they packaged this? Usually it gives you the packaging.
Hershey is a Pennsylvania company, which is right next to Ohio.
So maybe that's why they say it's most like. So yeah, I finished eating it and I didn't take my sip of beer. So I try this again. So normally chocolate, peanut butter don't go, in my opinion, with beer, but this True Gold, and it might be the hops that's being used.
Mm-hmm.
It's not bad. It actually enhances the peanut buttery taste of the Reese's. Not so much the chocolate, but more the peanut butter. So I'm tasting more of the peanut butter with this particular True Gold from Breakside.
Which some of the M&Ms I have are peanut M&Ms and some are peanut butter M&Ms.
Okay. Yeah, I did see some M&Ms. That's one of the things that I did see were M&Ms, but I wanted peanut butter, not peanut. So that's why I went with Reese's, and plus I had read that it is most like.
It is. It's the most candy, most like it. So
Yeah.
The only other thing I could think of, and I think that most of them are Reese's named, is the peanut butter egg, which I think most of those are made at made at like Easter time with by Reese's. So anyway.
So the other thing that we did was we decided to go with Ohio style pizza. So in Ohio, and that's the other thing with both Ohio, Columbus. Oh my goodness, Columbus style pizza, and there is a difference between Columbus style and St. Louis style pizza because some people think that they're one and the same. They're very different. The biggest difference, because they are both thin, which I like thin crust. I don't like that thick crust, that rising crust, none of that. That does nothing for me. I don't like that.
That's more Chicago based, yeah.
Right, that's just not my thing. Now, a Columbus style pizza, it's associated with Columbus, Ohio. It is a circular shape, but then it's cut into short or long rectangles. And it is a thin crust with dense toppings that cover the surface. And usually it's provolone cheese. And it does have a slightly sweeter sauce. And it was developed in the early 1950s. Now, it is thin, but it has yeast in it. St. Louis style pizza, the pizza is a thin cracker-like crust, but it has no yeast in it. And it is topped with the sweet tomato sauce and provolone cheese. And it's also cut into squares or rectangular rather than wedges. So hence why cheese is flying.
So I have a lot more pepperoni on top of mine because
I mine into rectangles.
I didn't cut mine into rectangles was the bad on my side. I have bad habits. They're gonna die with me. But no, I've always liked
I was
New
going to
York.
add more pepperoni. Mm. Mm. So one of the things with both the Columbus style and Louisiana style, but most of the Columbus, is that they put all the toppings all the way to the edge.
Mm-hmm.
So you will not find that crust at the end. A lot of times there's oregano and garlic that's prominent in the pizza sauce. But each pizzeria, they make their own thing, but they're going to make it their own. Sometimes they do use smoked provolone or a blend of mozzarella and provolone. But the whole point is to cover the pizza completely with the toppings.
It has. I'm sorry, I saw somewhat loud, but it has no edge.
Right.
See, everything goes right to the edge on it.
And the first pizza sold in Columbus was in 1934, and
Wow.
it had a thick crust, which is the Neapolitan style, which is that soft, thin dough with high edges. So it actually kind of comes up. It almost reminded me of a Dutch baby because it comes up.
Mm-hmm.
And the first pizzeria, so the first pizza was sold in 1934, but the first pizzeria in Columbus was Romeo's, and that was opened in 1949 or 1950 by Jimmy Masucci, that changed his last name to Massey. So he worked in Chicago before moving to Columbus, and that's why the influence of the thin crust style of pizza he was recently introduced to. So he started using pepperoni as a pizza topping in the early 1950s, and giving Columbus, along with New Haven, Connecticut, a claim to be the birthplace of the pepperoni pizza. And then within 5 years, there was 50 pizzerias that opened across Columbus and the surrounding areas. So one person just brought this idea and others followed. But each had its own distinctive style. So from the 50s to the 60s, a lot of different pizzerias did their own thing, and I'm not going to name you all the ones. But Donato's is one that I want to say is a little bit more well known. I think it's come out from not just Columbus. So it was kind of neat to find that out. I was going, oh wow. But there was one supplier that did supply all the pizzerias with support, advice, and innovation on how to improve the forms of pepperoni, the pre-sliced pickled banana peppers, from Vlasic pickles. And then, so that was an additional. So Vlasic wanted to get into the game. So they said, hey, throw this on your pizza. And then there was the improvement of the pizza boxes. And so it just became a thing there in Columbus. And as those sausage companies, the one that was credited with the pepperoni in Columbus, and it was high quality. And so that's where everybody went, because they knew that it was good pepperoni. It wasn't just cheap stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm sure that a lot of the cheaper pizzas are using the cheaper, they're blending all the different animals together. Most of the time it's one or the other. It's a variety. So that was kind of neat to find that out. So square, which makes sense, and lots of toppings. And like I said, I normally I almost bought, because today was at Bellagio's. They make really good pizza. I will buy just their pizza dough. They'll sell it for like $5 and change, and I love it because then I can put my toppings. My go-to is Genoa salami, but I was like going, I don't have time to be making pizza today. And I could have picked up their pizza of the day, which is build your own up to 3 toppings, but I wanted to find that thin crust. So that's why I ended up with a frozen pizza, hence why I was going to add my additional toppings. And this one is the signature brand pizza, which I had never bought before. I've done the Screamin' Sicilian. I've done Open Nature. I've done Tillamook, DiGiorno's. But I wanted to try something different because DiGiorno's was actually the same price on sale that the Signature. But I said, you know what? I'm going to go with Signature because it made it seem like there was more pepperoni And it really wasn't. I think DiGiorno's probably would have been the same.
I've always been, when it comes to getting pizza from the store, Red Baron's, Tombstone, DiGiorno's on occasion, but yeah, that's still usually the ones I go for if I'm going through the store.
Red Baron's didn't have any of the thins at where I was at Safeway.
Well, ours listed, and I would have got it because I do like it, and it's probably the most controversial pizza on the planet, is the Hawaiian with the ham, all right, and pineapple. And it is, pineapple on pizza is the most controversial pizza there is because there's so many people who believe it don't belong there. All right. As a matter of fact, on my Tim Gillette show, one of the questions, like I asked those what if questions, this or that. And one of my this or that questions is pineapple on pizza, yes or no? All right. And it is, because it's a controversial question. But Kroger's said they had them, but when my wife got to the store yesterday, they didn't have them. So, because I would have loved to have had one of them. Now, I very, very easily could have taken the pepperoni and cut up some pineapple, put onto it, and then put it in the oven and cooked it. And it would have been the same thing, but I just didn't. No.
I remember growing up, my aunt used to make Hawaiian pizza.
Yeah.
And I think the problem with it, because she was a great cook. Oh my goodness, amazing cook. Leftovers would be a completely new meal. She was awesome with that. But what I realized is there was three things she couldn't make. Rice without measuring it. She was like so precise, she would easily get it mushy. But she usually got it right. She couldn't make spaghetti and pizza. And I think because one, she needed to make the pizza dough thinner and cook it before she put the toppings. Yeah. She was putting the toppings and then cooking it. So when it would come out, it was very doughy and I didn't like it. It was like, but I have made pizza since. Wild Tree was the one who got me into making pizza again because they had a really good dough. But then Bellagio's, I loved their pizza. So one day I went in, I said, hey, can I buy your pizza dough? And they said, sure. It was like $5.25 for a large. And they said, you want it floured? And I said, yep. And so they threw it down there, floured it, put it in a baggie. Here you go. And so then I would get home, roll it out, put it on the pizza stone. And the great thing about theirs is that you do not need to pre-cook it. So with some pizza doughs, you do need to pre-cook, like poke it, pre-cook it, then put your toppings. With Bellagio's, the way that they make it, you lay it out, you put your sauce, you put your toppings, you throw it in, and it cooks very well along with all the toppings.
Itself, yeah. Which to me is how a pizza should be.
Right.
All right.
So the other thing that, because I just came across that I had was Flores Michelada. And so I was like going, this is the whole point is to get their little stuff, throw it in there, throw the beer, and then you have your own michelada. And then I went, this is expired. It doesn't look to be anything wrong with it, but I pulled out all the ingredients for a michelada. Usually when I make a michelada, I add either tomato juice. Usually I prefer clamato over anything else. And of course I didn't buy it because I wasn't thinking about it at the time. But a true michelada is essentially, it's mainly about the seasoning. So a michelada, there's various stories, like a lot of things out there, of the history of the michelada. One of them is that a popular story is that Michael Esper, a member of the Club Deportivo Potosino Sports Club in San Luis Potosí, Mexico, invented it in the 60s or 70s after a tennis match. He asked the bartender for beer with lime, salt, and ice, which became known as Mitchell's lemonade. Then they shortened it to michelada. The other one is that it's mi chela helada, which is my. Chela is usually known for beer, and then helada is cold. So it comes from the Spanish words meaning my ice cold beer. So mi is my, chela is beer, helada is cold. But the one that I think I like is, some say that the michelada originated in 1910 among the original turmoil with the Mexican Revolution. The legend has it that El General, the general, Don Augusto Michel, would frequent a local cantina in San Luis Potosí, again going back to the to San Luis Potosí. Yep, with his war-weary soldiers, he ordered a mix of beer, lime, and hot sauce to boost the morale amongst the Mexican soldiers. So that was the other one. And then there's a few others. So it is widely known as the Mexican Bloody Mary, thanks to its red hue and spicy flavor. But it is much more than a hangover cure. It is ideal for experimenting. A lot of times when you get a michelada, I picked one up. My brother took me to this restaurant years ago when I went to visit him in California. And I got this michelada, and it was as big as my head. And at nice, it had the michelada, but then it had the skewers coming out with shrimp and bacon and the celery. And I forgot what else was coming out of it. And then they had it was this, oh my goodness, I forgot what it's called, but it was coming down the side of the glass. So they brought it out in a platter. And then, of course, at the bottom, they had chips so that you can eat the shrimp, that were on there. So it was like food, it's like a Bloody Mary with food. And I always, when I order a Bloody Mary, I want food on it. I want bacon. I want a slider. I want shrimp. I want cheese. Whatever it is, I want stuff on it. So that place just reminded me of that. So you can experiment with it. So that's just kind of the fun part of a michelada, is that you can have a lot of fun with it and try different things. But regardless of how you make it, regardless of where the history is, it has endured and has become a Mexican classic. So normally it is Tabasco, which I have, Worcestershire sauce, dark soy sauce, or you can use Maggi, then a generous pour of lime juice. I don't know that I have a generous pour, 2 to 3 ounces. I don't know how much I'm going to get out of this little guy, but I do have some lemon, so it'll be lemon lime. And then, of course, black pepper, which of course I have, and a bottle of your South of the Border beer, which, what do you think I have on hand?
You better have Corona.
Corona.
Tim's favorite beer, which he isn't drinking tonight.
Yep. And a lot of places will add the clamato juice.
Yeah.
So some will do the clamato because the clamato has the clam juice in there. Some will just use V8 or just tomato juice. So just play with it. Again, it is about trying different things. What is it that you like? Normally when I'm making it, it's a red beer, so there's the clamato or the tomato juice in there. But I'm going to go with that. And so, of course, I have my little glass here. This is from Be Active, Have Fun, Give Back, Oregon Brewery Run Series. So I came in second female this last Saturday at 54:40. The first place lady, she beat me by probably a minute. She does marathons. So this was kind of her just going out and having a fun run. It was her first time running with Oregon Brewery Run Series. She made new friends, had a great time, so hopefully she'll come back. But this was their new little glass. So I have the tall one at the office, and but this was a cute one. So my next one, I'm gonna get one of these too, so I can have it. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. Hence why I went with the smaller size versus the taller size, because I knew that I was gonna end up with this.
I knew I was going to sample a little of each, and I didn't care. So I'm finishing up my IPA, and I'm gonna go back to the Oktoberfest. It has more flavor.
Really?
IPAs really got a kick to them. I get it. You have to love IPAs. I love to taste an IPA, but I like to drink an amber.
Oh, got it. Oh, yeah. So one of the things that I forgot to do, which I'm gonna paste it onto my glass here, is that I like to rim my glass. So I have my tajin right here. So I'm going to be rimming my glass with it. I always like to have a little bit of something. So you want to do that before you put ice or anything else in it, because otherwise you won't be able to get it to work for you. So I'm going to start all over and pull the ice out. So, ooh. I don't think I've opened this yet. Whoop. There we go. I'm having a struggle opening this. And I don't know why. I don't think, I think this is a new one. That's okay. So since I'm putting it here. Oh, you're still nice. And sometimes you want to make it look pretty. You can just put it down one side and not the other, so that it's kind of like almost like a happy face. You could do that too. So you have options. I usually just go with the rim all around it so that I can get to all of it. Because if you put it too low, then it looks gorgeous, but then you don't capture it. So it's you want to make sure that you're able to capture and when you can't get to it. So here we go. All right, see, a lot prettier there. And now I can put my ice back in there. And I'm making a mini one. I thought that was just like kind of a cute thing to do. And of course, your Tabasco. And there's different things. You can use others, but Tabasco is the way to go. You know, certain things, you just make it with what it says, because there is a, watch it with the horsey sauce there, because it can get you. And the Maggi also, Maggi, you just want to do just the dab, because it will make it very smoky. This is like super yum stuff, but it's smoky. And then I'm going to put, yeah. Again, it's very much like a Bloody Mary. And, oh, my lime juice. Let's see how much. Since I don't have my, I'm going to use a
what do you got, a fork?
A fork. You just poke it into the middle and then you squeeze. It'll help get the juices out of your lemon and lime. That's where I do it when I don't have my juicer. So I'm going to see how much I can get out of this little lime guy. If not, I'm going to, this one's actually pretty juicy, but I'll probably add a little bit of lemon in there. Yeah, my lemon has some juice in there. And yeah, so, and you don't have to put the full on, 2 ounces of lime. And I do have tomato juice, so I could add a little bit of tomato juice after I try it. I'm gonna see how I like it.
Yeah.
But before I do that, I need to get a pretty picture, because you always need a pretty picture of a michelada. So I'm gonna keep bigger.
And the camera's slowing down on us. Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's see how I like it.
You better like it. You went through all that trouble to make it.
You're supposed to. That's pretty good. And look at the hue it has. It's not too red. But if I put in the tomato juice, it will make it red, but it does have a spiciness to it. Okay, so I don't think chocolate and this will go well together, but I will try it just to say that I did. Oh, chocolate is good.
Yep.
Oh, you have the spiciness in there. It's actually
Like you're mixing stuff with beer. I'm having just regular beer. Why?
Because you got 2 really good beer.
Yeah, that's half the reason right there, is I just picked really good beers. Well, my wife did.
Good idea, Gwen. Okay, so that's actually not bad. If it would have been
How
just
does it go with the pizza, though? How does it mix with the pizza?
That's what but I have to cleanse my palate first. I was very surprised that I think it's the peanut butter. I think if it was just chocolate, I wouldn't like it, but I think the peanut butter blends well with beer.
I was wondering a peanut butter and beer. Like I'm sitting here, I've got the peanut butter M&Ms. So, and I have some peanut M&Ms, but peanut butter M&Ms. And so I'm getting the same taste of peanut butter and going very well with this. They didn't, the IPA kind of sparked them too much.
Mhm.
But the Oktoberfest, which is more of an amber, is really it goes with both. Goes with the pizza, goes with the candy. I'll bet you if I had a soft pretzel, it'd go with that too.
Mm-hmm. It's very refreshing. Yeah, the michelada with the pizza, it gives it a little bit of a kick.
Yeah.
As I make a mess.
Yeah. Nothing says nothing quite says you know what I mean. We had a good podcast, like the mess we have to clean up afterwards.
Too strong. And normally I would not add ice to my beer, but in a michelada, there's always ice. You can make it without, but part of it, it's kind of like a Bloody Mary. There's ice in a Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
So it just goes very well, and it helps everything. You know, if you have a bigger chunks of ice, it's better because then it doesn't melt as quickly. And having the rim with the tahini, that's pretty good too. I like that. Not too shabby. I will say that making it old style is not a bad idea. I will have to do that more often.
But it's no mystery that pizza and beer go together good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for us older folks, we recall just after high school, the place that we went to after usually the football game or everything else was Pizza Hut,
Mm-hmm.
which had pizza and they had beer. And you would get beer by the pitcher.
That's right. I remember that. Not that I was having beer after a football game. Well, as an adult, I probably was, but not as I really didn't go to the football games when I was younger. Once in a while I would, but we weren't having beer. But yes, I would see the pictures at Pizza Hut as well as Round Table.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had it. I mean, I remember our Pizza Hut in town, and it was a little sit-down restaurant. I don't think it is anymore, but I haven't been back to that part of town to see in I don't know 6-8 years. So,
well, there was a sit-down Pizza Hut when I moved out to Fontana, California after I graduated high school.
yeah.
But what I do have local is a Round Table. It's 15 minutes out, and they are the Old Town Pizzeria. You have a bar area, but they have the restaurant sit down, you know, which I've ordered pizza a couple times from there, picked it up. I haven't done that in years, but I usually don't eat pizza either. I've tried Mod Pizza, which is kind of mainstream. And then Megabyte is another one that they will pour on. But when you're getting something like that, you're spending $40 on a pizza, you know. And when you go to Bellagio's, you're getting a simpler pizza, but you're spending closer to 20, not 40.
Yeah.
Unless Monday, you know, where you can add 3 toppings for, you know, whatever the pizza. I think it's like $15 or $20 for the medium or. I do like that crispy thin crust, though. I'm glad I made the michelada. It's a little different. And you can put your tahini on the rim and then just serve regular beer in there, no ice. And then that's okay too. It'll give you a little bit of a kick on the edge of your, it's like having the lime. So instead of putting the lime into the bottle, you can pour it into here. And I'm just gonna pour it in there because I don't have another lime. But yeah, I think actually with the michelada, because my beer's been sitting out for 45 minutes.
Mm.
It's a little bit warmer, even though the glass is cold because I had ice in here. I might just turn it into another michelada and put the ice back in there, add some more, and add all the spices. It gave it a little bit of a kick. But yeah, very easy. I mean, most people have these ingredients on hand. Most people will have the Worcestershire sauce on hand. They'll have this. It calls for the ground pepper, but if you just have pepper, that's fine. If you don't have Maggi, if you have soy sauce, use soy sauce. And then if you don't have Tabasco, but you have another hot sauce, you can do that. And then lime juice and ice, and that's all you need to make a michelada.
Wow.
I know, super easy, isn't it?
It is.
So super duper easy, which I really liked. And again, you can add the tomato juice or not add the tomato juice. That's up to you. But you got a little bit of history of michelada, a little bit of history of the Columbus style versus the St. Louis style pizzas, and Buckeye candy. Now, if you're going to make your own Buckeye candy, it's 1 cup of peanut butter that is smooth. So do not use the chunky.
Do not do chunky. Nope.
No chunky. It's smooth. 5 tablespoons of unsalted butter, 2 cups of powdered sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 2 cups of semi-sweet, truly semi-sweet unless you're going to use the white chocolate, and 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. You can use regular vegetable oil or canola oil, but coconut oil works the best. You're going to cream that peanut butter and the butter together with the vanilla extract. Add the powdered sugar and mix it with the big mixer. I don't have one of those until it combines. You're scraping down the bowl as it's mixing. And then you will get the peanut butter, make it into little balls. And then transfer the balls into a baking sheet and chill until they're firm, at least 20 minutes, if not more. Then you're going to add the chocolate and the coconut oil to a medium bowl and melt it at 50% power of the microwave. Do it stovetop if you don't know how to do the microwave, because I've tried to mess with like my brother's microwave, couldn't get it at 50%, made a mess, making something else, not chocolate. Stir to combine it, set aside for it to cool to room temperature. Use a skewer or a toothpick, dip the peanut butter ball into, so you're going to get the skewer of the toothpick, put it into the frozen peanut butter ball, then dip it into the chocolate to allow some of it to be exposed, because again, that's the signature of the Buckeye pea, what it looks like, and then chill to allow the chocolate to firm up and enjoy it. And if you do want to add, because you have the skewer in there, you may want to just put a small knife or spatula over the tops, because it'll have the hole where you have the toothpick or the skewer through it. And you can keep it in the fridge for up to 2 weeks. And like Tim said, you can also freeze it. And it is very important when you're mixing that you bring down the powdered sugar, because otherwise you're just going to have everything just super firm and the bottom of the bowl is going to be very soft. So you want to make sure you're constantly scraping down that powdered sugar. And the coconut oil helps the chocolate so it's easy to dip. So you can use shortening also. That's another tip that you can use. But it's you can reduce the amount of butter by 1 teaspoon to make a firmer ball. So if you want it a little bit more firm in the middle, then do that. Don't put as much butter. So that's the way you make Buckeye candy. Preppy Kitchen is where I got that recipe. Very easy, to Preppy Kitchen. Easy to do. You don't even have to bake. But I didn't have the energy.
True, ladies and gentlemen. It is, yeah. It's. I looked at about 10 different recipes on there, and they were all similar. All right, yeah. And good. Yeah. So anyway,
check it out. What was that?
I said they were all similar if you're going to make it yourself, but like like everything else, I want to buy the luxurious brand.
Yes, but I don't want to spend $32 on 3 of them.
Yeah, because I'm not going to eat $32 worth of candy.
I'm not.
I mean,
cents. But yeah, usually if I buy candy, not that I really buy candy, but when I do, it's usually on sale.
I will tell you this: Saturday, we were leaving Atwood's, which is one of the farm stores here. And as we're going out, you know what I mean? We'd had very little for breakfast. We went coffee, and then we go to the farm stores and get stuff. And then we come back home, and we got the baby with. So I grabbed a Hershey's with almonds chocolate bar going through the checkout.
Yum, 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 yum.
And I get to the car, and I'm like, you want some? She's like, no. I'm like, I got this for us to split. I'm not eating the whole damn thing. So needless to say, in pieces, we split the candy bar, and it was gone before we got halfway home. Yeah. Something how a chocolate bar just every now and then is great. Now, I wouldn't eat it every day. No, it's too much to eat every day. But to have a chocolate bar every now and then, it's just so great.
Yeah. Especially with almonds.
Oh, yeah.
So
we used to keep them in the freezer and have just 2 or 3 in the freezer, and every now and then have a piece off. You know, but
this is foam candy.
Yeah.
I don't remember what flavors on the inside. But this is sea foam.
Okay.
You get it up close because it looks like sea foam. And then, of course, dark chocolate with almonds. You know, so you're buying the chocolate.
And you got to keep them in the refrigerator or the freezer. I'm telling you, you got to keep them in the refrigerator or the freezer. When you're ready for a piece, a nice cold piece on the refrigerator. Oh, it's so good.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't.
So that was from Cannon Beach. I was gotten at Cannon Beach. I had never had the seafoam before, and it was super yummy. They have all sorts of flavors. They have orange, and then they have raspberry and coconut, and all caramel, so all the different flavors, and then covered by milk chocolate, dark chocolate, white chocolate. So that was absolutely delicious. It was an orange with dark chocolate, which I like both. Orange and dark chocolate is my go-to. So I've enjoyed that.
I used to have a go-to. I don't anymore. They're all good. Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, before we go, I'm going to play this little thing. So I basically started to come up with a commercial for us to play, and I started creating it. So I'm going to play mine, and I know we're going to create one for you too in the upcoming weeks here. But let me go on here and play this, and we're able to create these short commercials to just click the button and play them. Watch, ladies and gentlemen.
Is your website attracting the traffic and engagement it deserves? At SimpleEasyWebsites.com, we specialize in transforming ordinary websites into extraordinary experiences. Our experts know what it takes to make your online presence stand out and succeed. Gain valuable insights and tailored strategies with our professional website review. Don't let your website be just another page in the digital world. Visit SimpleEasyWebsites.com now and book your consultation today.
Aha! And that is my new commercial.
Love it.
We're going to have to do one for yours. So
looking forward to it. I know it'll be creative. You're so good with stuff like that.
And then we're going to have to do one for the Insiders Club, which is the next commercial we have to come up with. Yeah.
I know. We usually do like our personal ones before, for our businesses, since we are the sponsors of this show.
Yes, we are. So
imagine that. Taking care of business. And we thank you all for
being here. I wrote a book called that once, Taking Care of Business.
Really?
It was my whole rock and roll phase. I was using song titles to write books.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. Well, anyway, let's tell everybody about the Insiders Club. Yes, we have an Insiders Club, ladies and gentlemen. Go to our website, likethewayyoudrink.com. And our Insiders Club, you can actually have tastings and stuff with us, parties with us. All right. As well as get invited to unique opportunities and get invitations to purchase custom-made alcohol for you. likethewayyoudrink.com, and click the button that says you're let us know that you're of age, that we can actually allow you into the club. We have to be 21 or older to join. Other than that, business. Tell us about your business now.
Well, I am Gladys Boutwell, Insurance by Design, helping employers become employers of choice through providing employee benefits. Are you an employer and you're like, how do I attract and retain great staff? Well, you provide them benefits. Non-compensatory. What does that look like? Well, for each business, it's going to be a little different. let's start the conversation. Go to enrollnoworegon.com so that you can get on my calendar. Or if you go to my website, insurancedesignpros.com, at the upper left, you will see the button where you can get the white paper on 101 various ways that you can attract and retain quality staff, no matter what your budget is. That's insurancedesignpros.com. And I'm Gladys Boutwell, Insurance by Design. This is my co-host.
Hey guys, it's Tim Gillette. And as you heard what I do the websites. Simple Easy Websites is our business. We design websites for you. This show is brought to you every week, ladies and gentlemen, by the two of us, as well as our Insiders Club. So you want to find out more, go to the Insiders Club. Go to Like the Wager. We should see if Insiders, we should see if Tim and Gladys' InsidersClub.com is available, which should be something.
Oh, right.
I know. Like we should buy a domain for it. Why not? We're in. Anyway, we do this show every week, guys and gentlemen, because we love to do it. We love to talk about flavors. We love to talk about what we eat and drink, as well as our businesses pay the bills. So you want to find out more about us, come back here next week. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, our Facebook page, as well as see us on Spotify and Apple. Anything else, Chief?
Yeah.
Been a good week. All right. I say we wrap it up. We see you guys here next week. Come back and join us. We will be here next Monday night. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, cheers.
Cheers.